Alright, today we're finally going to start looking at some of the stuff from Mini Pack 3. I know it's been out for a while now, but I was still working through a lot of the stuff that I already had recorded. And also some of the new free-to-play pets, which don't really have anything specifically to do with Mini Pack 3. However, we are going to use one of them today. But first, we've got the canned ailments in the shop there. So I've already frozen the canned confusion and then applied it to the puppy as soon as I leveled up into it. So canned confusion, or confused, I'm not entirely sure what the name is. Maybe we'll see it when it comes up again later. Confusion will cause a pet to transform into another pet before attack. So kind of like making it into a desert rain frog, or one of these other units that transforms randomly. So we'll see it here. The puppy randomly transforms into the spider. I don't think it's always going to be a faint pet. I think it's, just anything on the tier below. But I had the idea to make a team based on having a summon squad that contained no summoning pets, or at least no summoning pets in the front 4 slots. So I wanted to have some summon support at the back, so that could be any of the various pets from Danger Pack. It could be Turkey. There are lots of different possibilities. But then all the pets in front are not supposed to spawn anything. And they also won't have any perks that spawn anything either. So the goal is that we're going to have multiple scalers basically in the form of Jerboa, Puppy, and the Clownfish. And then the confusion is going to allow us to transform those units into summon pets, and therefore hopefully trigger the ability of the unit in the backline. So I get the Poodle Moth here. This is the other very important unit for this team. You can see I'm just buying every single canned ailment, hoping to try and get another confusion for the Clownfish. And Poodle Moth is going to give experience to pets when they transform. So here you can see the wombat. The puppy transforms into a wombat and then gets leveled up. And of course, having Clownfish as the third scaler on the squad will mean that those level ups incur some extra stat bonuses. And we're definitely going to need as many bonuses as we can get, because this team is not good, let's be honest. There we go, we get the confusion for the Clownfish. I actually make a mistake here. I shouldn't play the Clownfish at the front, because then we're not going to get the in-battle buffs. Okay, there we go. We changed the order around. The Poodle Moth is only level 1, so it can't actually give more than one bunch of chocolate to the other pets when they transform. Unfortunately here, 1 HP loss, or 1 HP breakpoint there. So yeah, now we just need higher levels on the Poodle Moth, and then also the summon pet, the summon support pet to go in the back line. This is pretty funny here. This is during the period where everyone's playing White Truffle. It's been patched now, but yeah, there were a lot of these Orangutan, Dear Lord, White Truffle teams. So yeah, we'll combine the Clownfish together to get the buy-sell for the Jerboa. Jerboa, a pet that, you don't really see it on any teams other than Owl or Worm. But I thought it would be fun to mix it in here because, we're able to get more value out of it by using the confusion, albeit that there is a pretty heavy random element involved. But we do win here, so we managed to keep our 2 lives intact. If we can get another Jerboa, that will also mean that we get the Clownfish buffs on it, which would be really nice. But it looks like I'm just going to take Mammoth for a turn. Okay, here's a Jerboa opponent, trying to prove me wrong that it's not very common. But yeah, as you can see, we don't get a level up on any of the other transformations because it's only level 1 Poodle Moth still. But hopefully we can rectify that soon. Of course, the ideal would be level 3, but I think that might be asking a bit much as we pill another Mammoth to try and beef our team up a bit. I think I'm going to take the Amsterdam Albatross for a turn, get some transform scaling before we bring in the last member of the team. Guinea Pig, unfortunately, not a great hit in terms of a strong summoning ability, but we should be okay anyway. Yeah, we keep getting Flea from the Jerboa, which is really nice. Definitely want to protect the Poodle Moth because the team falls apart if we don't have it. And we hard roll down, get the level up. So I'm just going to play a 4-squad for now. I was going to say this is a free-to-play team, but they've got Barghest and what was the other one there? It jump attacked before I could see what actually happened. But actually this round is a perfect example of why it's so difficult to use some of these new ailments or build these ailments into a team where the ailment has a positive effect. Because an ailment can just be overwritten by another ailment. And so even level 1 Barghest can just wipe the 3 confusions on the front pets. And then they won't transform at all and then the whole synergy is broken. But luckily this time one of the confuse ailments survives. Now I guess, yeah, having explained the idea behind this build at the beginning, I kind of forgot that II is able to summon stuff itself. So maybe if you wanted to do a complete 0 summon team, you would have to replace II with Turkey or Vulture or something. Because I think we are going to see the II summon stuff here, although we are going to lose. Yeah. But still, you get the idea. A summon support in the backline. And of course, we can also swap the puppy to using toilet paper now that we've got decent scaling already. I think that's much more valuable this late in the game. And again, exact same problem. Double Bakunawa. We lose all the ailments, and so our team just never had a chance here. Alright, next one. I'm skipping to turn 10. We've already had a reasonable Starfish mini pivot here. And we can also just transform the Starfish into something else as soon as we get the opportunity. Okay, we get Confusion here as well, so we're all set. Obviously, as you could see in that previous game, one of the downsides with having Confusion on a scaling pet is that if you lose the Confusion, the team just falls apart because the ability of the scaler is not going to be good enough in game. So in this one, you can see I've got Nessie at the front. So if we potentially lose the ailment, then we'll still get the benefit of the Nessie ability during the battle. And I'm freezing up the blue-ringed Octos here because we could potentially transform our Starfish into a blue-ringed Octo. And then that would allow me to immediately get the good value. So yeah, transforming a tier 5 down to a tier 4, we can get Clownfish, which will then buff itself, which is really satisfying. And yeah, we do get 1 lemur summon here, which should be enough. Okay, I'm actually just going to sell the Cockatrice and sell these guys. Interesting. Wasn't really expecting that. There were definitely plenty of runs where I got Starfish, and then once the team was filled up, I tried to transform it into blue-ringed Octo. We get Clownfish again. Obviously, you can only set the pack up with so many good transformations on the tier below. You just can't have all summons. It's just not possible. But you can still, have a pretty good spread of hits. And we just have to cross our fingers that we don't get any of the, the complete duds on the tier below. Like this time we got, I've forgotten the name of that unit. Spiny Bush Viper twice in a row. Not going to be good enough against this team though. Okay, I'm going to take the Amsterdam Albatross level up. I think I didn't roll very many times there, so if we don't have the confusion, then the Nessie effect is not going to go off. But this looks like a team that was throwing. Not sure exactly what was going on with that lineup. Actually, they can't be throwing because they're on 1 heart, so I don't know what was happening there at all. I think that was Tiger at the front. Maybe they were just hoping for a draw. But this time I transform the Starfish and I end up getting II, which isn't great because we can't then, if we combine the II with the other II, we would lose one of the confusions. And it is definitely a big problem going for a team like this where you're trying to get specific ailments and you end up missing out on them over and over again and wasting a lot of gold rolling for them. Here on turn 15 we face this very funny team from Fanboy Ochi, and we are extremely fortunate to get away with a win there because we had the white ochre to block 2 attacks from the scorpions. I'll link the video in the description that corresponds to Ochi's team there. So yeah, I'm just going to feed up the II, hope that it stays alive. 1 heart, 9 wins, and it's turn 16, level 3 owl, level 3 cat, 100 behemoth. And so the behemoth just solos our whole team. Pretty much ran into a brick wall on that one.